Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Well, good morning once again, and of course this is Issues at Hand here on Arise Family, and of course today we are discussing something very, very important. Of course, we know that this country, Uganda, celebrates the Liberation Day every 26th of January, and this year's celebrations were in Kololo, and of course the president highlighted on a number of things. Now this morning we want to have highlights, of course, especially from the message of the president of the 40 years of NRA and NRM victory. Of course, we can't talk about NRM without NRA. And our guest this morning is Tom Nyiro, who is an NRM cadre. And of course, he's here with us. It's a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers of this wonderful station, Channel 4 Family TV. I'm happy to be here. I want to congratulate them upon reaching these wonderful 40 years of the NRM administration. My name is Kada Tom Nyiro, like you said. I'm here representing the President's office, and the job is to talk about the highlights of the 40 years of the NRA administration, which is under our able leader, His Excellency General Yoweri Museveni.
Of course, someone can simply see you painted clear with the protecting the gains. And I think the big question is to someone watching us that what are these gains that we are protecting?
Before I look at the gains,
yes.
First of all, maybe we can give a brief introduction of what we are talking about. We are saying that 40 years, there are some young people, I'm sure even you were born during this administration.
Exactly.
So when we talk about protecting the gains, you are one of our gains, the gains of the NRM party and our government. So we have to make sure that we protect you so that you can work, you can be healthy and enjoy this beautiful nation of Uganda. Okay. So the theme for that day was a tribute to the patriots who ushered in the fundamental change. In 1980, we had a sham election that was conducted, and Obote and his good friend Mwanga rigged the elections. But before that, our president, who also participated under the UPM party, had warned them that in case you rig the elections, we are going to fight you. Now, DP won the elections under our late Elder Paul Kawanga Semogire. They won the elections, but they failed to demand their win, their victory. So President and the NRM party helped them to demand for that victory. And that demand took 5 years. Why? Because we went to the bush in 1980. That was on 6 February. That's when 27 people, they were actually over 27, but they had 27 guns. They were about 40. 27 guns led by General Yoweri Museveni. They attacked Kavamba Military Training School. After attacking it, that's when the war began. And you've always heard that General Eli Tumwine, may his soul rest in peace, was the one who fired the first shot. And the war began. So the war took 5 years. I think since we were talking about paying a tribute to the patriots, later in the show, if time will allow, I will mention some of the names of these people. Most of them are gone, but I think we have a few that are still alive. Okay. So we are paying tribute, saying thank you for having sacrificed yourselves, your time, your families, your life, for us, the Ugandans, to make sure that we can enjoy a good country. And that's why we are paying tribute to them. So in 1986, the government, our revolution, our group, led by His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, was able to overthrow the military junta which was there. Most people think that President Yoweri Museveni overthrew Milton Obote. No. Milton Obote was overthrown by a military junta led by Tito Okello and others like Basilio Olara and others. They overthrew Obote in 1985. After a few months, in 1986, on 26 January, President Yoweri Museveni with the NRA, National Resistance Army, which is now UPDF, removed that military junta on the 26th of January 1986, and then on the 29th, President Museveni was sworn in as a president on the steps of the parliament. So from that time up to now, we have been in power as NRM. And when you look at the situation in 1986, this country was being referred to as a failed state. It was totally failed. Nothing was working out in Uganda. Uganda was, you could compare Uganda to hell. So those who have been asking, how does hell look like? Just go and ask people who were there in 1986. The picture they will give you is a true depiction of what happens in hell. It was here. Okay. Hell had visited Uganda under the poor leadership of the likes of Obote and those other leaders who came first. So by 1986, when we came to power, Uganda had been under self-governance for 24 years, but there was nothing. So from 1986 to now, we have seen a massive development in this country. When you talk about the economy is growing. The economy is growing. You can see the infrastructure. The infrastructure has grown. There is democracy. There is peace, freedoms, media freedoms. Talk of electricity. You know, just a summary. In 1986, we had only one dam. That is Owenifos Dam. Right now, we have almost 7 major dams and other small dams that are producing electricity. Now we have enough electricity that we are even exporting to our neighboring countries. Talk of the road network. The road network was so poor. Uganda had, I think, 800 kilometers of what we call roads. Even those ones, they would look at roads with remains of tarmac, and they say this is a road. This is just some small tarmac. Let's call it a road. But right now we are talking of 80,000 kilometers of tarmac roads. We have maram roads, and during the speech, the president said we are going to make sure we repair all the roads. So in these 5 years, I just made a summary of the achievements. There are many. In these 5 years, there is a lot that is going to be done that by 2031, I think Uganda will be at the level of Singapore.
Well, as we continue with this discussion, I want to drag a little back. When you were highlighting some of the developments that have been reached at in the 40 years, you talked about the freedom, the media.
Number one is peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Peace is there.
Democracy.
You talked about, and I want to draw this now to democracy.
Yes.
Are you convinced that this is the kind of democracy that Uganda should celebrate, especially when people up to now still have a lot of unanswered questions from the previously completed presidential and parliamentary elections, even the election that happened yesterday, and other elections?
Let me tell you, in 1986, you could not even speak.
Okay.
There was freedom. In fact, one of the leaders told the Ugandans that you have the freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom after speech. Right now, we have freedom of speech and freedom after speech. We have media freedom, you know, freedom to express ourselves. And this is an example here. This is family.
Not forgetting media journalists that are being tortured in the field.
You're talking about those examples. Yes. Now you asked me, am I convinced that this is the best democracy we can have?
Yes.
I tell you, this is the best democracy that Uganda has ever had in its history, ever since creation. Talk about East Africa. I think we are the best democracy. Okay. How do we tell? We have elections, free and fair elections. An election whereby, in fact, it is us, the NRM, who are complaining because 2 times we have been rigged. Our elections are being rigged by the opposition. In the past elections, 2021, we were 2 million votes, actually almost close to 3 million votes were stolen by the opposition. 1. But we accepted. To this election here has been mad by opposition rigging and mismanagement of the whole process. How? There was, in Kololo, the president explained that we got 80 million votes. But when you look at the position of NRM, we have 21 million voters. I mean 21 members who are eligible to, like 18 million who are eligible to voting. Now, when we went for elections, 10 million did not turn up. 10 million of our voters did not turn up. Now, where did they go? They feared because they were intimidated by the opposition, especially the National Unity Platform.
Okay.
Now, how do we, when you talk about vote rigging, we are not talking about someone putting their hand in the ballot and then they stuff in the votes. We are talking about intimidation. That is one of the worst ways of rigging elections. You intimidate people and 10 million people don't go to vote. And those were our votes. So meaning would have got a lot of votes. Number two, how did they intimidate the voters? Remember, they said, when you go, Uganda is going to ban. Get the t-shirts of NRM, get a matchbox. We are going to ban. We are going to cause problems. When you see those NRMs going to vote, beat them. They threaten them that we are going to make sure we vote, protect the vote, and even demand it. How do you demand? That is through bloodshed. So many of our people, because they are peaceful, they feared to go and vote. So that was vote rigging. So there is a democracy. But even after even voting, even after rigging, they still fail to reach our candidate. Okay. So
literally, in the intimidation, it was now their members that didn't vote, because still in the intimidation, you got the majority vote.
We have NRM, by what we have done, we have done so much that even a blind person can see. Even a deaf can hear. It is only witches that cannot appreciate what the NRM and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni have done. Because a witch, when they see you moving, all they see is they want you to die so that they can eat your corpse, your dead body. So the opposition in Uganda, they have that kind of mentality.
So they're the witches.
Yeah. All they want is to, they don't wish anything good for this country and our government. So the process was clear. If they said that there is no democracy in Uganda, then they wouldn't be participating in the elections. I have a newspaper, today's newspaper here. I can show you. They are saying, this is New Vision, a government newspaper, is saying that leading mayors from the elections we had yesterday of divisional chairpersons and mayors of municipalities. Yeah. This one here is among the leading Nubian Lee. This one is Bobby Wine's handyman, closest allies. If they say there is no democracy, the Electoral Commission is unfair, why should they continue participating in the process? It is because inside them, they know there is true democracy, there is fairness, that's why they still participate in the elections, and they win.
What about what happened in Mukono? What is your say about that, where the Electoral Commission returning officer declares a candidate, and then immediately he goes into a closed-door meeting with the NRM chairperson of Mukono and some security, and then when they are out of that meeting, the returning officer declares someone.
Do you have the evidence?
Yes, it is out there.
You go to court. If that happened, go to court.
Okay.
Yeah, those are isolated elements. You see, in case something like that happens, you just go to court because we have freedom. This is a democratic country. So we have a parliament, which is active, which is having the ruling party and the opposition. And one of the party presidents for DP, he has come as a member of parliament for Laropechi. That is Norbert Mao, president of DP. And there are many people who have come as members of parliament from the opposition. I want to talk mostly about National Unity Platform because they make too much noise. Even the mayor of this city here, Kampala City, the mayor, the Lord Mayor, is Valimwezo Ronald, who is a member of the National Unity Platform. They have many. So if they are saying that there is no democracy and they are participating in the election and they are winning, then it gives even a fool who will know that what they are playing comedy games. You get the point? Let's
talk about the infrastructure. You talked about the infrastructure, and we commend the government for the infrastructure. We talk about hospitals. Hospitals are being constructed, but of course with a limited supply of lesser medicines, and this has been an issue. So how is the progress, and is there hope that this is also going to change soon?
When we look at the president's speech, he talked about those issues. Okay. I will get back to that, but he began by talking about the economy. Okay. He said that our economy is growing annually 70%, and we are targeting 10% growth per year. Two, he talked about oil production, and he told you that this year we are starting to see oil being drilled from Uganda here. And what does that mean for us as a nation? It means an increase in income, in money. So we are going to have money. We are not going to depend on borrowing or begging. We have our own money. That's why the president has been very confident while speaking, saying that this time, things are going to be wonderful, extra wonderful, because already things are good. So finally, he's going to help the Ugandans cross Jordan into the promised land. You get the point? 40 years, he moved us from hell. We've been moving. We are now at the border. We are now prepared to cross Jordan and enter the promised land. Now when you talk about hospitals, we don't say that there is nothing wrong happening. As NRA, we speak the truth. Even the president has been saying that there have been some mismanagement somewhere. There are some people who have been mismanaging drugs in the hospitals. You know, when the government employs, they don't only employ NRM cadres. I'm sure you could...
They don't even know.
They don't know
whether you are or not.
Whether you are or not. But from our own investigation, we have discovered, and even the leaders of the opposition have been encouraging their people, join the government, and while there, expose or try to show or to weaken the government from within. So we are dealing with enemies from within who have joined these hospitals. Some of them have joined from the opposition, and those are the ones we see stealing the drugs, opening up pharmacies across, and then when you go to those pharmacies or to those clinics, you find medicine with government labels. And the president, after this election on 18th January, we had a meeting there in Rwakitura. He said he tasked all these leaders who have been voted that they are going to be what we call kalabalaba. They are going to be watchdogs to make sure that they monitor every government program to make sure that everything goes well. And if they see any element of corruption, anyone mismanaging, doing things wrong that are affecting our citizens, then those people must be dealt with. And the president said that this time is going to be harsh. He said, I'm going to be very harsh. Actually, if there is a word harsher, it's going to be harsher. And when he said that, I was in Kololo, I jubilated because I wanted to hear that statement. He said, all those who have been mismanaging government funds, talk of PDM, medicine, are going to end up in jail. Why? Because there is a lot of room in those jails. So the thieves, those ones we call corrupt, are going to end up there.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you look at the hospitals, by 1986, we had only one referral hospital. That was Mulago. Right now we have many, about 7. You get the point? And more are being constructed. For example, here in Imbuya, we have the National Military Referral Hospital. That one is going to be, I think, the best hospital is in our East African region here.
Okay.
It's going to serve us and serve even outside the countries.
Open to the general public or for the UPDF?
For the UPDF, but they offer services even to the general public. Okay. That is what our army is a people's army. Okay. It is here to serve the people. Now, So the referral hospitals are many, and even most of these regional hospitals are being elevated to regional referral hospitals. We have these health centers, 2, 3, 4. They are being elevated. Health center 4 to regional what?
To general hospitals.
To general hospitals. So on the issue of health, the government is doing a lot. People wanted us to do things at the same time. Those who are talking are forgetting where we came from. That when we came here 40 years ago, we had Uganda was a hell. There was totally nothing. So we started from scratch. I remember one time they saying that when they looked at the budget in the treasury, they found only 5 billion shillings. That was the money that the government had. Obote and all those people had stolen everything. You know, people were being killed in Uganda. People don't remember that. Ugandans need to be reminded, especially these young people. People were being killed. If you buy a radio, you take it home, in the night they come kill you. The chairman UPC, the soldiers of UNRA, they come kill you, take the radio. You marry a beautiful wife, they watch you, they come and celebrate with you during the daytime, they eat your food. In the night, they come for that wife, leave you dead.
Let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we are continuing from there. Stick with us as we continue to have an highlight into, of course, the 40 years of NRM and, of course, the achievements and the victory worthy celebrating. Stick with us.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Welcome back from the break. Of course, this is Issues at Hand, and we are looking at, actually looking at the key highlights from the President's message of the 40 years of NRA and NRM victory. Now, of course, our guest is Tom Nyiro, who is an NRM.
Kada Tom Nyiro.
Kada Tom Nyiro.
Yeah.
So we are here with him, and before the break, you had actually promised to tell us some of those people that are worthy celebrating, who are part of this journey. Some have long gone, but you told us that some are still alive.
Some are still alive.
Okay.
The group was so big, I think about 43 that attacked that day. But the ones that, the key ones, there are those who joined them during that day, but the ones who attacked with 27 guns, number one was President Yoweri Museveni, who is a general. We have Eli Tumwine, General Eli Tumwine, he's gone. Yeah. We have Afande Sam Magara, he's gone. We have Fred Rijema, he's also gone. We have Afande Kalebu Akandwanaho. This one is commonly known as Salim Saleh. We have, he's alive. We have General Paul Kagame, who is the president of Rwanda. So you see what the NRM has done. We have Hannington Mugabe, we have Stephen Kashaka, I think he's alive. We have Joram Mugume, we have Pecos Kutesa, we have Andrew Rutaya, Asa Kasasira, Matayo Charigonza is there, Ivan Koreta is there, General. Julius Chihandai, we have Patrick Lumumba, Fred Nkuranga Rubereza, gone. We have Chief Ali, Brigadier, he's also gone. Akanga Vyaruhanga, we have Sam Katawarwa, Miro, we have Julius Oketa, Fred Mugisha, and many others. So that's the list. So it is bad for us to celebrate the achievements of the NRM, and we don't remember these men who worked and sacrificed. They left their families, forgot about their children, wives, husbands, and we even had children whom Obote had murdered their parents, and they also joined the group. They say, no, we have to fight.
Because of the anger?
No, not the anger. Nobody went when they were bitter. Nobody went to his bitterness. We never have a bitterness. You can see by the way President Yoweri Museveni operates, that even people who have been enemies, who have abused them, when they repent, he can actually receive them. I'll give an example of Norbert Mao, Honorable. He was a great critic of the president, but later he saw the light. And he said, no, I think I've been wasting time in fighting the government. So he joined the government. So these people are not bitter, and they never harbored the anger. What drove them is the zeal to see a better Uganda for the rest of the Ugandans. We had women, mothers, fathers, children, youth, who went, students, and then eventually they brought the country to where we are. So they are worth being celebrated. Yes. Because without them, we will still be in problems. Yeah,
actually, now we go to, because still the president highlighted key pillars of development, and like he said that when he was moving along, for him he was preaching development, telling people what he has done and what he intends to do in this term, and so maybe we can look at and highlight of that for someone who
President Yoweri Museveni. I think he got it right, everything right. While our opponents were busy moving from place to place, abusing, telling lies, the president was preaching the gospel of economic transformation. He went and spoke about what he called the 7 pillars, or the bricks that lay the foundation of economic transformation, job creation, wealth creation in this country. Number one, he began he spoke about peace and security. In Runyankole we say of Sinje. You cannot have any development without stability. This station here belongs to the Church of Uganda, right? Yes. Church of Uganda, you suffered under the bad regimes that NRM removed. We had a whole archbishop Church of Uganda, His Eminence, Janan Luumu,
the most reverend,
got murdered by Idi Amin. So those are the things. There was no peace, that these people could not even respect religious, high-profile religious leaders, men and women of God, like the Archbishop, and they murdered him. And now we have Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and NRA bring peace, where the church is now thriving. Nobody ever dreamt that the Church of Uganda could have such a magnificent building, and it could have such a wonderful media house. So that's number one. You also talked about development of infrastructure and Tunguka, development of infrastructure. We look at social and economic infrastructure, things like roads, talk of electricity, talk of airports, schools, hospitals. When you talk about schools, Uganda right now is what we call the mecca of education in Africa. I've been telling people that a few years ago, we made Kenya to be what it is. Most of those members of parliament, you see leaders, county chiefs or what in Kenya, most of them studied from here.
And presidents.
And the president studied from here. Because this is, whoever wants to make it in terms of education comes here in Uganda. That's because of the NRM. Talk of South Sudan. That country is what it is because of the NRM. And you see any school you go around, university, you not find them. You not find Somalis. Rwandese, we made them. Even after when they had forgotten them totally in 1994, even the United Nations forgot them. It is President Museveni and the NRA and the NRM that went and rescued the Rwandese from the genocide and helped them to infrastructure. They sent their people here, they were educated here, and now they are standing on their feet. We talk of Somalia. Go around here, don't you see them? They are studying from here, they are learning business from here and other issues, so that they go back and...
Even beyond East Africa, we talk about Ethiopia and Eritrea.
Ethiopia, Eritrea, we talk of Guinea, talk of Tanzania. Me, myself, I spent years teaching Tanzanians. I was in Tanzania. So, all these countries, without Uganda, I don't know where they would be. So, Uganda, in terms of education, we have UPE. NRM established UPE, USE, Universal Secondary Education. Now, the president said, because of money, we are most likely, I know, because we have a very able leader in NRM, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and all our leaders are very smart. I'm sure because of the money from the oil, we are going to have even universal education become free.
Wow. So
that the Ugandan has only one job, to fulfill the divine mission given to us by God. Into you go, fill the earth, produce, replenish, and fill the earth. You produce. The
government has handled the rest.
You produce, and NRM and the government of Uganda educates them.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have the money. You getting me? Yeah. Talk of wealth creation. Wealth creation, when we came to power, Ugandans were so poor. Even a poor man would laugh at us.
That we are poor.
That we are poor. All you could see was grass-thatched houses and tents. Even when you go to barracks, they would live, soldiers would live in grass-thatched houses and tents. But right now, move all over Uganda, you cannot find a grass-thatched house. The ones you find, they are either for traditionalists or for people who want to just have leisure, tourist attraction.
Okay.
There is a lot of development in this country because of the NRM, because of wealth creation. God has used President Yoweri Museveni to make wealth for the country. People knew that there was oil in Uganda here. Even Idi Amin wanted to find the oil, he failed. Because God, he never had a God. The difference between us and others is that we have able leadership under Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and our leaders in NRM, and we have God on our side. And experience, which others lack. Obote tried to look for the oil, he failed. Mind you, even the colonialists, They knew there was oil. They looked for it, but God did not show them. But when a man of God, President Yoweri Museveni came, he was showed the oil. So now Ugandans are rich. That's why President has brought up those programs like Wells, PDM, Parish Development Model, where the government has been injecting 100 million per parish. Now, PDM has done great, moved the Ugandans from poverty, and now we have 70% of the Ugandans are into money economy. They've moved from subsistence, from working for food, stomach. The president always uses the word nkolera kida chonka from Lugwere, working for the stomach. Ugandans were working for the stomach in all those regimes, but right now, only we still have 30% of Ugandans who are working for mere ya leero. Now, what has the government done? Under the visionary leadership of President Yoweri Museveni, President has said, now we are going to add from 100 million per parish, we are going to make it 400 millions. You heard him in Kololo. Yes. I'm giving what he talked. Yes. You heard it in Kololo. He said, we are going to add, imagine, 100 million has done great wonders in making 70% become rich. Now, if we are to inject 400 millions per parish, I think, hey, Uganda is going to be, even the Americans will be admiring us.
The economy is...
Now, on top of that, we had the complaints. There are people were saying, oh, me, I was supposed to be given 1 million. They gave me 800.
Exactly, or 600.
Or 600.
That is what I was going to ask about.
I could read what you're going to.
Yeah, sure.
Now, the president, because the visionary man, he found out, he said, okay, there is mismanagement. People are doing this because the leadership, the parish, the chiefs who are in charge of the PDM, the leadership there, were not being catered for. So they were also struggling also to get from the little the people are getting to enrich themselves also, so that they can get out of poverty. He said, no, that team is going to be given 15 million shillings so that they can also revolve within themselves. So meaning they will no longer touch the other money, the 400 million shillings. And then because he's a visionary man, he said families which have disabled people, they are going to be given 500,000. You get a point? So that nobody is left behind in this journey of economic transformation. In 1980, we went to the bush to fight the enemy, who was Obote, Dictator Obote, and others. This time we are not going to the bush, because there is no need to fight about, nothing to fight. The only enemy we have now, number one enemy, is poverty and ignorance. That's why the president is injecting money. We have these ghetto hubs. Put money. We have the presidential skilling hubs. Put the youth there, skill them, give them money to startup kids, so that they can be self-sufficient. You get the point, eh? So that's what the president is doing. Then on the issue of ignorance, that's why the president has been preaching mindset change. Mindset change, so that people can change their mindset. There is somebody, I met a border friend of mine. He was being told, they called him, come and get the PDM money, 1 million shillings. Someone told him, don't get that money, that is yellow money. Don't go. It's for the NRA, don't touch it. I told him, you, unless if your brain has nothing. The man went and got money, 1 million. Right now, he has a Bajaj, the business has multiplied, he has a Bajaj, and he says, whoever, anybody who tells him to leave NRM and Museveni, they are worse than Satan.
So now we justify the statement that was NRM money. Because after getting this money, he sees the beauty of NRM.
He sees the beauty.
So it is NRM money.
It's NRM that is bringing those programs. So the government is trying to bring everyone. That's why even the president said, even religious leaders are going to be helped. So because we've seen some religious leaders preach the gospel of prosperity sometimes lie, preaching because they have children, the pockets are empty. They say, no, I have to help them. Border riders, we have these traditionalists. Everyone must move on this journey of economic transformation. And by 2031, when this term ends, Uganda will be shining. Electricity, we have enough electricity. The railway, we are building the standard gauge railway. Already it was launched. It's going to connect to the one in Kenya, the one that comes from Mombasa. Then President talked of the East African regional market. When he was ending his speech, he said that we are going to work on regional markets. Why? Because of PDM. President Museveni has been preaching a lot about PDM and what we call the 4-acre model, where he taught Ugandans on proper use of their small land, the land they have. And Ugandans, those wise Ugandans, took that gospel and it transformed their economies. So the same preaching or gospel brought the challenge that there is now oversurplus. People have produced a lot and there is no market. The market which is here is not enough. So the president said that's why we need the regional markets. In Kenya, Tanzania, Somalia, DRC, and other countries. And me, as a cadre, and someone who has been, who's standing shoulder by shoulder with the president on these issues of regional integration, I want to encourage Ugandans that if you're going to do business in Kenya or Tanzania, you cannot do it if you don't understand Kiswahili. People should learn Kiswahili, should change their mindset of thinking that Kiswahili in Uganda is a military language. I was talking to somebody in Kiswahili and people, the moment you speak Kiswahili, they think you're a soldier. So there is need for mindset
or
change.
Otherwise.
Or you are a criminal.
Exactly.
Why? Because the bad governments that we chased misused that language. But that is the language that we need because it's a business language. Since we are fighting poverty, we need economic transformation and we need the markets in our neighboring countries like Kenya and Tanzania. Then we need to learn Kiswahili so that we can exploit the markets, the bigger market in those countries.
There was a regional market that was launched near Mutukula,
yes,
as the East African regional market. But up to now, I think it's about 4 years or 3, no development is going on. It is at a standstill. Okay. Is there a hope of reviving such markets, construction, and then putting them to use?
No, that market is going to succeed.
Okay.
At least I have very good knowledge of the East African region. I know Tanzania in and out, I know Kenya. If you go between Kenya and Tanzania, there is a place called Yoweri, there is a regional market there. There is a regional market which is doing excellently. Between here, the one that was open, there were some challenges, especially when we lost our dear president in Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli. There are things that, the new administration under Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan had now to go and start from patches. There were some challenges that they had to fix. Losing a president, a sitting president is not a joke. So that's why you see, it's not that that project has failed. No. The president talked about, even there is a time he said that 3 weeks ago, he said he spoke to President William Ruto over those issues, the common market. But also he promised that he was going to talk to Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan so that it can get into action. So I trust the president and the NRA government, it is going to work. And it's going to change Uganda. We are going to blossom. Instead of moving for 24 hours from here to Dar es Salaam by bus, because we are joining, Tanzanians have already constructed from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. There is one from Mwanza to Ishaka, then one that will come up to the border is Uganda. So instead of 24 hours, you get your matoke from Mbale, from Mbarara, from here. You get your granules from Soroti, your potatoes, yellow potatoes from Soroti. Bring them back on the train here at around 5 in the evening. By morning at 5, you're in Dar es Salaam. park on a pickup, take to Kariako market. You sell. After selling in the evening, you get back. 10 hours, you're where?
You're back to Uganda.
Uganda. So,
okay.
Unless if you're a witch.
That should be an interesting...
Unless if you're a wizard. you cannot say President Museveni and the NRA party has done nothing in the past 40 years. Who else could do it if not President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni? While our fathers were hiding under their beds, 27 men said for us, we are ready to die. Many of them died to make sure that this country is free. So we have to pay tribute to them. We should stop this business, cheeky business of saying agende, let him go. Akasaja mtusiveka akasaja kagende. Where did you bring that man?
The president overemphasized that statement.
Yes. Kagende go akaleta. When your Obote was killing people and your father was hiding under the bed in the mountains on top of the trees. Why didn't he go and liberate this country? So how can you come and start talking cheekily?
Well, Kada, as we wind up with this discussion, I see your time is fast spent. What are your last remarks?
My last remarks, I want to thank President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. In Kiswahili, we say that mtenda mema anastahili matunda maua yake. Rais Museveni umeupiga mwingi. Umefanya kazi nzuri na tunakushukuru sana sana kama raia wa Uganda, na tunakuombea kwamba uendelee kutuongoza na utupeleke katika nchi ya ahadi. I want to thank the Secretariat and the Secretary General, very able, Richard Todwong. They've done a great job of making sure that we get this landslide of 71.6%, despite the opposition rigging our votes. I want to thank them for the good job. I want also to thank the Minister of ICT and the President's Office. The President's Office is doing great to make sure that we come here and explain to the Ugandans what, and explain to the Ugandans and counter the lies that are being told by the opposition opportunists. I want to thank our dear sister by the names of Stella Ringo. She's there at the ICT ministry. She's the one who's doing a great job in coordinating, making sure that this airtime for the government is well utilized so that people can know what the government is doing and get those programs that have been put by the government to move them out of poverty. And I want to encourage Ugandans that please, we have voted, we have a new government. Let's forget the past. Let us support the government in power. Let us utilize every program the government is bringing to move us out of poverty. The NRM government is God sent. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is God sent. And if we support him, we are going to be blessed, because even the Bible in Romans chapter 13 says that we should honor the authorities that have been put there by God.
Thank you so much, Kada, Tom, and Nyiro, and to your viewer, thank you so much. Now, of course, from this entire highlight, just one thing, what brings us together all is that we are Ugandans, and this is our home, irrespective of the political affiliation, irrespective of the other differences. What we need to do is to come together and grow together as Uganda, because at the end of the day, this is our home. We do not have any other home. So that is why we appreciate the peace,
Yes.
and we can talk about the peace and the security, but we can also come together and work together for the good of Uganda, our motherland. Thank you so much. Once again, Adrian Austin Mkalas is my name. Of course, I've worked with SC, I've worked with Andrew, and from the entire team, we wish you a blessed day. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family